everyone. Welcome to Spirituality in Sin City. Just doing my morning art, a little bit of morning art work. Today working on some jewelry and, bringing you some more information to make you the most interesting person at the dinner party. Check it out. Golden Nugget, people. You want earrings from Golden Nugget? Coming up soon in my shop. So, yesterday, at the end of the day, we drew for the card of the day, healing and resolution, the 8 of karma, as I like to call it. And, well, not all religions believe in karma. I'm not sure what happened to my... every day when I start my stream, it tries to tell me that my camera is not rotated the correct angle after I've gotten it all set up and perfect. It makes me pick it up and make a big mess of the perfect setup that I just created. So, apologies. But we are going to, main topic of today is a little test of how to determine if your wish will come true, which I found in the handbook of Cartomancy here. And we will get to that shortly. I will put a link down below eventually if you are watching this after the live stream. Then there will be a link down below for you to skip ahead if desired. So the reason these two are related, though, for me, is because I am researching tarot and playing cards, cartomancy, because I started seeing signs in the cards. So that is where my spiritual journey took a strange turn, and why I created this show to help some of the rest of you who might be going through similar struggles to just, find new information and feel more at home about the fact that you are looking into things perhaps that your religion or your spiritual beliefs told you were not right, but you're having new thoughts and or just wanting to see the original documents as to why these things supposedly are not right. Who is the first person to say that and why? Because, okay, so I don't want to go too far on that tangent, but that's where my personal journey started. So for me, I am getting healing by sharing my journey with you and by taking this step to share interesting spiritual and religious information every day with hope of inspiring you and, like I said, making you the most interesting person at a dinner party or, at the bar. Best person to talk to ever, because hopefully you're going to have stories that most people haven't heard. Well, at least until everybody starts watching my show. But it'll still give you something cool to talk about because, it's going to be mind-blowing topics. Anyhow, before we get into the cartomancy of the day, I've written down some verses that go with the 8 of Hearts idea from all the different scriptures with the help of ChatGPT. So that, I guess I'm just going to have to hold this for the camera. It doesn't want to sit today. So that's the point for me of drawing card of the day, to give us all something to think about for the evening. Perhaps come back with a little something to share from your own thoughts, an inspirational quote or verse, but I will always come prepared with several. So, from the Bible, Proverbs 22:8, whoever sows injustice will reap calamity. From the Bhagavad Gita, work done as sacrifice frees one from bondage. Otherwise, work causes bondage. From the, not gonna butcher that word, Upanishads, as a man acts, so does he become. You are as you act. Dhammapada. If one speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering follows. If with a pure mind, happiness follows. From the Quran, excuse me. Whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. I really like that one. And I got these from ChatGPT, and it told me it was paraphrasing, so I apologize if I am not stating the truth, full truth here. But if you are a reader of the Tao Te Ching and have studied it far more than me, then let us know. But according to ChatGPT, chapter 63 talks about repaying injury with virtue. So, long story short, most or all of the major religions have very similar thoughts on healing, how to, let's just say, find balance instead of the word healing. Because I know some don't believe in karma, so if I say karma, then Christians are going to say, well, that's not a real thing. But I do think that there's some reality to that. I mean, it's not like, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole with debating religion here, but you know, your sins matter. I know that many are going to say, well, once you pray the specific prayer as a Christian, your sins are forgiven because you accepted Christ. But I still think it matters. I mean, you're still supposed to behave like a godly person. So I guess whether or not there's consequences to that, to not behaving like a godly person after you have been accepted by Christ, forgiven by Christ, that's up to you. But I think we all would appreciate it if I stopped blabbing on this tangent. Anyhow, karma for me is helping you learn some more about the world. And I hope you will press like and subscribe if you are enjoying watching me do my art and talk about some spirituality. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into today's document, which I will show you a little bit of. So I get these from the public domain. This is from 1897, y'all. Very, very old. And this one I'm really excited about because I am looking to kind of find out where the definitions in this book, which I learned from, came from exactly, and to how many people agree with that assessment. How much agreement is there amongst the definitions of the cards? Because, like I said at the beginning, I am doing research, and I'm using poker to try to show that there is meaning in the cards. And I'm tracking the luckiest and least lucky cards, which I defined as the luckiest or least lucky based on what I read in this book. Most people would not use the word luck, but in coming up with something that would appear in poker, I picked, let's say, the most grim and the most positive cards that I read about, and was already feeling that I saw these signs in the hands that I played. Then eventually I realized, well, although I am seeing some correlation, watch my other videos on my channel to see some poker tarot readings and hear about the statistics thus far, but long story short, I am seeing a correlation between when the luckiest and least lucky cards show up and what happens in the poker hands, whether or not the hand is lucky. So I need to verify that the cards that I'm tracking are seen pretty consistently throughout history as the definition that I've made them. So I went into this book for, well, I've printed more than one reference, but this one has a great straightforward definition and then the little test that I told you about that we're going to do for fun. So, to give you a little bit of the preface, they say, the curiosities of esoteric literature, separated from the grandeurs of esoteric philosophy, are not without their individual interest, and the byways of practical mysticism are not without their importance. It is eminently desirable that they should be rescued from the ignorant mutilations of charlatans, and distinguished from the worthless impostors which are foisted on public credulity as genuine remains of the ancient and traditional science of the sublime kings of the East. So, if you watched my other episodes, and I highly recommend it, that how he just said, it is the traditional science of the sublime kings of the East. That would be the Magi that came to visit Jesus. This is now a second reference on Cartomancy that is suggesting that the Magi are the ones who first did fortune telling, tarot, and they did it with playing cards. So, rather than read you the whole book, though, I have just printed a particular chapter. Comes with all kinds of very cool info in here, mathematical fortune telling, and there's some really weird methods back here. I apologize, but Margaritomancy has nothing to do with margaritas. I did check for you, because if it did, then obviously that would be something we need to talk about here, but it does not. So I'm not going to go into what it was, because I don't want to explore it at the moment. But this chapter tells us basically everything that you might want to know about fortune telling with playing cards. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll give you a quick overview of their definitions and which ones looked lucky and unlucky. So, Ace of Clubs, wealth, happiness, and peace of mind. That's kind of different from my definition, but not one of the cards that I'm tracking, so a little less important. King of Clubs, upright and faithful. I totally agree. I have him pegged as loyalty. Eight of Spades, blah, 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 blah. Let's not go over all of the cards, shall we? I'll give you a quick little peek, in case you want to look at all of them. Where did I just lose? I lost the page that I wanted to show you. So, these were the surprises for me. The Seven of Clubs in this system promises good fortune and happiness, but bid a person beware of the opposite sex. Now, I do not have this as a positive card in my system, and I don't often see it bringing good fortune in poker. But again, still researching these things and looking for more and more proof, so we'll see. Maybe it'll prove that way the more hands I analyze. Secondly, Six of Clubs I do have as serendipity. But yeah, serendipity is like chance, accident, good fortune. It's not planned business, good fortune. So definitely some difference there. And, those are kind of lucky looking in definition, according to this system. But, and then also, all they say for 10 of diamonds is money. Money coming or money going? That's what I want to know. What about money? I call the 10 of diamonds vapid achievement or empty achievement. In my system, it's about the fact, say that maybe you think you just got, or maybe you did just get money, but it all disappears. In poker, more often than not, what the message of the card means, in my opinion, that you would see in poker is, say you make the hand that you wanted, but it doesn't mean anything because you're already beaten by a better hand that somebody else has. So, but again, use that information for entertainment purposes only. But here is the good news for me. So I am tracking the 10 of spades and 10 of hearts, 9 of hearts. I say the 9 of hearts is the luckiest card in the deck. Indeed, they say it's called the wish card. That is literally what I hear over and over and over, and it brings wealth and high esteem. So I see that as, some have actually said it's the luckiest card in the deck when I've looked at it. Others have not. But wealth, high esteem, wish card looks pretty positive. Makes some sense that I have it marked as the luckiest. However, 10 of hearts almost looks a little luckier here. It says that it represents, it is prophetic of happiness and many children. Some might not think that's happiness. And this is the most important part. It is corrective of the bad tidings of the cards next to it. So if it arrives next to a card that is kind of negative, it reverses that and makes it positive. And then it confirms the good messages. So I think both of those definitions pretty strongly agree with what I have defined them as. And but this was also interesting. I just marked it for poker players. The Ace of Hearts is the home card or the house. And I thought it was very interesting here that it says if it has a spade on the side, then it foretells quarreling. It means something bad. But if it's next to heart, if it's got another heart next to it, heart card, I guess I paused there because I'm thinking of pocket aces, but in general, if that Ace of Hearts is with a spade, it shows something bad. If it's with another heart, it shows affection and friendship. If by diamonds, money and distant friends. And if by clubs, feasting and merrymaking. So that right there makes me wonder if it would think that the Ace of Hearts and Ace of Diamonds would be the most powerful combination of aces. Second, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Clubs, I would think. But I'm seeing it say that Ace of Hearts and Ace of Spades are not so lucky. And I'm pretty sure that it was Ace of Hearts, Ace of Spades that I watched get cracked at the final hand of the World Series of Poker main event. Maybe twice. There's two different hands where pocket aces lost as the final hand. And I think it might have been Ace of Spades, Ace of Hearts. I will have to get back to you on that. I forgot that I wanted to check that. So here is where we learn how to find out whether or not you will get your wish. And the reason I chose this is because, again, it's all about the 9 of hearts. Where does your card show up next to the 9 of hearts? That means it's good. And if it shows up next to the 9 of spades, you will get disappointment. So that is probably the best confirmation for me so far that luckiest and least lucky, because those are the two cards chosen for this method of telling whether or not you will get your wish. And now, without further ado, I'm going to read you the whole set of instructions, and then we will do the test. Get my art project over here out of the way a little bit. And yeah, so to tell whether or not you will get your wish, you are going to need to know one thing. Well, you need to pick a card to represent yourself. You can watch my other videos where I can tell you which court card is which, but I'm not going to waste time on that right now. I'm going to say that I choose the Queen of Diamonds to represent myself. It is not my horoscope sign, but it is supposedly representative of Rachel from the Bible, which is what I was named for. So once you know what card is representing you, you will shuffle the cards and keep your thoughts fixed upon whatever wish you have formed. Okay? So let's all think about our wish, and then I am supposed to cut the card and find out another card that we are looking for. So, ready? Think about your wish. Okay, got your wish? Sorry, I had to concentrate on mine. All right, we're going to cut the cards. And we have the Queen of Clubs that we are looking for now. Okay, so put it back in, and we shuffle them again. Then we are going to deal them out into 3 piles. I'm not totally sure about why there's 3 piles, but you will then examine them in turn, and if you find the card that you turned up, the Queen of Clubs that we just turned up, next to either one of the cards representing yourself, or the Ace of Hearts, or the Nine of Hearts, you will get your wish. If the card that, if your card, my Queen of Diamonds, is in the same pile as the Nine of Hearts, but not right next to it, then I will get my wish in the future. And if it is near the Nine of Spades, or, yeah, if it's near the Nine of Spades, I will not get my wish. So, you have your wish. You've been concentrating on it, I hope. All right, we're going to deal out 3 piles. All right, now we look for my card and what cards it's with. So let's see what we got here. My card is not in this one, and the Nine of Hearts is in this one. So not a great sign for my wish. Is your card in here? Now, check pile number 2. There's my card. Oh, it's got the Nine of Spades in here. So, according to this test, I will not get my wish. Not going to tell you what I wished for. And I guess this pile is now obsolete, but I am pulling it out in case your card is in here and you just want to confirm. And there's the other card that we were looking for. So, wait, was there an Ace of Hearts in here with mine? I guess it doesn't matter because the Nine of Spades, yeah, Nine of Spades and Ace of Hearts are in here. So, I mean, you could say, in a way, the Ace of Hearts is closer than the Nine of Spades to my Queen. So, you know, the directions here on this, what about the Nine of Spades, are very unclear. So you're going to have to make up your own rules on that to me. I mean, got to make up your own rules anyways. But all it says here is, if the Nine of Spades should make its appearance, you may count on disappointment. Should make its appearance where? Right next to your card? In the same pile at all? Who knows? But yeah, I'll get back to you on that. I suppose we'll find out based on whether or not my wish comes true. All right, let's get a card of a day for tomorrow. little bit of advice, little something for you to watch out for and think about, and maybe bring some feedback back to this channel. Tell me what you want to hear next. Awesome deck. What advice do we need to hear today? What do we need to know? Besides whether or not we'll get our wish and be lucky. What do we need to know? Disruption. The end justifies the means. So this is a water card, a heart card. It means that the thing that you want the most, there's something in the way. And you can, use your aggression possibly to push back that, but you'll have to kind of follow your heart to figure out what to do. That's how I interpret this card in light of what I was just wishing for. Perhaps in my case, it would mean that maybe I won't get what I just wished for specifically. I'll get something related. The thing that disrupts it might be better. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, the end justifies the means. If you have some quotes or thoughts or scriptures on that for tomorrow, please do share. Even if you are getting at this after the fact, I would love to hear your thoughts on whether or not the end justifies the means in your spiritual or religious system. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope to see you again soon. Please do press like and subscribe, and have an awesome day.